welcome back to the channel. My name is Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates, and today we're going to continue working on Spring Bridge. We're down to the last two sections. We're real close on this one, people. I am super excited. We are so close. Today we're using our multicolored tray from my 3D Designs. Also, my pin is from Diamond Art Club, and all of my lap table accessories is down below in the description for you to be able to find. On these last two sections, I was almost tempted to just do one of them and then open the bottom, but I went ahead and did what I've been doing all along. So here we go. We're doing, and I'm going to be going in order. So I started here and then I changed my mind, okay? Because I was tired of just going in the order that I found the colors, right? So I needed a little change. So what did I do? Instead, I'm just going to go color by color, right? Number one. Is there number ones on the board? Yes, there is. Let's fill number ones. Is there number twos? No, there is no number twos. Let's skip that one, go to the next one. And there's lots of number threes. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I think I already did the twos or the T's. I know I did the twos and the T's, I believe. I also did a couple of the blues. So there weren't that many started, so I figured, what the hell, let's just go for it, right? So I chose to go for it, and today we are pushing through because I really want to get this one done. I want to get another one kitted up. This one is almost done. It's been exciting. It's been fun. It's been one that's been in the closet, that's just been hanging there, that I've now been able to complete and get off the hangers. It is September, and we have September and October before we pull the Christmas one out. So I figure I have time to do maybe one or two big ones and maybe a small one. I think that might suffice and do what I'm trying to get accomplished. So, and then in November, I'll be pulling out the Christmas painting. It is a big one. It will take time. I'd like to get it done by, early December so that it can display in the house. Just like all my others are displayed during Christmas time. I have some Christmas diamond paintings that come out, and I have my Chuck Pinson that stays on the wall 24/7. I don't care what time of the year it is. I have my penguin. It never came down. It found a home. So I only swap out a few things, and I'll swap out and put my Christmas stuff up. I do need to get my hot air balloon back on the wall. I did do a hot air balloon drawing with pencil, and I need to get it back up on the wall, and I also need to put the one my mom gave me. And that one's got to find a spot that it's going to live, and I'm not going to change it out because I'm going to put my cross stitch, my diamond painting that my mom did for me, and my hot air balloon that I drew, and it's going to find a place to live, and that will be its place to live forever. Okay, so I won't be swapping that out. We do have our article today that we will be reading from Diamond Art Club blog. It is 15 creative hobbies to try from February 2021. I did skip over the International Women's Day and the International Children's Day. We've already done some of those, and I just found it to be a redundant kind of thing, and it's probably new articles, but I really just wanted to really concentrate on something other than that. I mean, we've got Labor Day coming up, so Labor Day is important, and that means when Labor Day comes around, that means it's my dad's birthday, and he is no longer here and hasn't been here for some time. But I always wish him a happy birthday on his birthday, so on the 7th, I'll wish him happy birthday. And my mom's birthday went nicely. What else is going on? My sister's kind of up and down like I am right now. So we're both kind of just battling our own thing. I think we've kind of come to maybe, I don't know. I want to find a good family dynamic, and I don't think they listen to my videos, and if they do, then I hope my sister hears that I really do want to try on having some kind of healthy relationship with her. We've had an unhealthy relationship all of our lives, and I think it's time to, we've kind of called it a truce. We are kind of getting along. It's not perfect. I don't think, honestly, that it'll ever be perfect, but as long as it's healthy, and we're not arguing, we're not fighting, we're not nitpicking each other. We're both ill, and I know my sister's got the chronic one, which will, you know, it's one that could kill her eventually. I don't want my sister to die. I'm not saying that at all, so I know how some things can get construed. I'm just stating that hers is more of a critical kind of condition than mine. We both deal with pain, different kinds of pain, and I had to come to terms with that first myself, right? Because I always sit here and think, you know, why am I having so much trouble, and my sister deals with this every day, and she's doing regular things. So by her doing regular things, I do regular things. And I told my mom that, and my mom kind of told me something, and I said, Mom, I'm sorry. It's so painful, and I have to remind myself that Rebecca's in more pain than I am. And you know what my mom said? My mom's the most wisdom person I've ever met, okay? Besides my grandmother, okay? My grandmother had the wisdom of a fucking genie, I would think. We didn't connect until about the last real 6 years of her life, but my grandmother I saw a new part of my grandmother, and I wish that I would taken the time growing up to be more kind and more gentle to her. I wasn't always the nicest person, and I made my mistakes, and I have reached out and asked forgiveness for it, and I know that I've already been forgiven. I don't worry about the past. It is the past, but I remember by learning the lessons. So I learned with my grandmother that it's really important to be kind, no matter what's going on in your life. I don't care if you're fighting with your husband, you're fighting with your kids, you've had a bad day at the work, you've gotten fired at work, whatever the issue is, right? Remember, always be kind. I don't always remember that. I have hard times with remembering to be kind sometimes. I'm not always the kindest of people. I'm much better now as I'm older, and I've learned to be kind. But being kind doesn't come naturally to me. Being antagonistic, being the one who has to be in control, needing to make sure that I support myself. I spent 6 months homeless when I had my daughter and she was little. She was just about 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old. And her and I were homeless for about 6 months. And it taught me a lot about being kind then, But when I got done being homeless and we got into a place and everything was better, I reached out to my mom and got back with my mom. We hadn't been talking for 6 months. It was my way of saying I can make this. Nobody can make up my mind. I'm the adult. Nobody, those kind of things. I'm only 22 years old, and I'm trying to take care of a daughter. And I had CPS called and never lost my daughter. And so it was a very rough 6 months. And I remember promising myself that after that, I would never be without a home. And I'd never be without a job or some kind of financial means to take care of myself, right? Because I'm not going to be in a position that I was in. And I've always worked or always made sure, no matter what, there was money in the bank to buy food and pay for the rent and pay for the power and, maybe a pair of roller skates for birthday at the time, right? But I always worked in some shape or form. I've worked in auto body shops. I've worked in gas stations, and I'm an accountant, So I've worked many jobs throughout my years, right? Any from automotive to an office job. When I was 18, the first job I ever got was Burger King, and I decided after a little while I reached out, and because I took auto mechanics in high school, and I was the second in my class in auto mechanics, and it was all guys, so that's pretty darn good. And I was very proud of myself for that, and so I chose to go work at a gas station, and so I made my choice to work in different things. I was a manager at Kmart in their food department. I was worked at Burger King. I've worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. If there was a job that had to be done and I could do it, I had my hand up because I wasn't going to let my daughter down. I wasn't going to let myself down. So that's probably why I'm having such a hard time through this process of waiting for approval from Social Security and wondering if I'm going to get denied like everybody does. I'm trying to keep a positive outlook that everything's going to be good, and I believe it will. And it's that positive outlook that is going to get me through. It's just the times that I have to remember that I'm still fighting to be able to do that same thing I've always done. And I'm not giving up until I get it. So I don't care if we have to go 2 years. We're prepared. We know it might happen. And we know that that's a possibility. So I think that's about it for the little chitter chatter. It's a longer article, so I want to get started. We're already 15 minutes in, so let's go ahead and get started on the article. So it's 15 creative hobbies to try, February 20th, 2021. And it's from Diamond Art Club's blog. Let me grab a drink and we'll get started. Okay, so we all feel bored once in a while. Whether you have recently found yourself stuck at home more than usual, or just need something to fill the hours between dinner time and bedtime. It is far too easy to fall into the habit of mindlessly scrolling through social media or staring off into space. Yeah, I quit doing the social media. I mean, I do what I have to do for the channel, yes, but am I going to be doing it on a regular basis? No. I don't do social media. I check social media to see what's going on with my grandchildren. And that's about all. And I check for channel stuff, right? And I want to kind of explain one thing real quick. And I know I said we were going to do I was going to do the check along. But here's the thing. As much as I want to be a part of that and maybe get an opportunity to win some of those wonderful prizes, but it's not what I want my channel to be. I don't want my channel to be about opening products that have been sent to me so people look at my channel and go, oh, it's just another unboxing, or oh, it's just another this, right? That's why I'm changing things up as we get going. I knew that things would be fluid for a little while as we set up, but we're going to continue just keeping the fluidity. I'm not going to be, I want this channel to be more like Mrs. Crochet and Coffee or Stitcherista, where it's not all about winning prizes and let me show you what this person sent me, or I have diamond paintings to open every week and I don't have enough time to do it, so I open 3 or 4 5 days a week. You know, I don't want to be that person. I want to be I want to be here so that we educate. I want people to hear about diamond painting. I want people to hear about knitting and crocheting. I want people to hear about these wonderful crafts that we have, right? So that's where I decided that it was a decision based on my channel, whether I joined that. So I chose to go ahead and finish working on this painting. And we'll see how far we go, right? So is everybody with me? I hope so. So while there's nothing wrong with these things, finding hobbies to engage in much more rewarding than staring at a screen or doing absolutely nothing. And the great thing about starting a new creative hobby is there are options for everyone. You don't need to have a lot of money or even any special skills to get started. With a little bit of creativity, patience, and a willingness to learn, anyone can pick up a new hobby. There's diamond painting, drawing, taking pictures, cooking. The list goes on and on. If you're tired of being bored and are looking for more productive and enjoyable ways to pass the time, keep reading to discover fun, creative hobbies to try. So let's see, and maybe there's going to be one here that we can try. Let's see if there's a hobby we can try. Maybe we can branch it into another day and do Thursdays, right? So, number 1, well, we do this one all the time. Diamond painting, right? Diamond painting didn't exist just a few short years ago, but it has quickly become a favorite pastime among hobbyists. One of the best things about this particular hobby is it doesn't require any particular skills. This craft involves placing small diamonds on a color-coded, pre-painted canvas by using an applicator pen. Think of it like cross-stitching, but using sparkly diamond-shaped resin drills instead of string. It is easy once you get the hang of it, and everything you need to get started is included in every Diamond Art Club painting. There are so many mental and emotional benefits of diamond painting, and it's a perfect productive hobby to work on while also relaxing. So I can have the TV on, I can watch TV with my husband, right? And I can be sitting here watching TV, but I'm also diamond painting. So at the same time as watching TV, I'm being productive, right? And I need new wax. We'll have to change that out here. But being productive is important to me. I want to be productive. I want to see that I'm not just sitting here with nothing to do. I like to see that, okay, I can't work at a standard job, right? It's just not physically gonna let me, or mentally let me do it now, okay? So I know that. I am aware that working in a regular job, 9 to 5 in an office, is not going to work for me, right? I'm going to change out my wax real quick as we read, okay? So, one of the greatest things about diamond art is that it's great for all ages too. Diamond painting for kids is a great way to encourage your child to embrace their artistic side while taking a break from screens. Additionally, many adults find diamond art to be the perfect stress-relieving activity. Escape into the scenic hillsides of a beautiful landscape, or go to on a mystical adventure with your favorite fantasy character. And if you're looking for a more zen in your life, you'll definitely want to check out our blog on how diamond art can be a form of meditation painting. And we've already read that one. So if you're looking for a new creative hobby to take on, diamond painting is an absolute must. And I have to agree, diamond painting is an absolute must. I would be lost without it. I have to admit, of all the crafts, right? Diamond painting is the easiest to be able to pick up and get started on. I'm going to do something here. I'm working on filling my pen, but I keep finding in this multi-placer that the edges right here are not filling up, so they run out of wax where everything else doesn't. So I was trying to push it in to those corners and see if I can get it in there a little deeper so that I don't run out of those edge spots. And I think I was able to accomplish that. So we'll get started. We'll continue on. So I was just kind of explaining what I was doing when I was working on my fill. So number 2, drawing. When it comes to hobbies, accessible to virtually anyone, you can't go wrong with drawing. As long as you have a pen or pencil and a piece of paper, you can draw. Whether you create photorealistic drawings of people or landscapes, or tend to be more of a doodler, drawing is an easy way to express your creativity and pass the time. And I love to draw. I don't draw near as much as I should. Now that my hands are getting stronger, I think I have a pretty good chance of being able to use my hands and accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is number 3 is journaling, right? I am not a journaler. There's a lot of people out there that are, though. So journaling is a great hobby for a multitude of reasons. Writing about your day-to-day experiences is an excellent way to document your life. It's also a powerful tool when it comes to working through difficult emotions or processing traumatic events. The mental health benefits are numerous, and journaling is fun too. I guess if you want to call it fun. If you're a writer, then journaling could be fun. I have to agree to that. But for me, journaling doesn't do it, okay? Some people it does, and I hope you enjoy it. So whether you journal to pass the time or to improve your mental well-being, it is an excellent hobby to pick up. You can fill your journal in writing, personal artwork, images you printed or cut out of magazines. the options are limitless, okay? If you aren't sure where to get started, there are even guided journals that help you find your voice and teach you more about the art of journaling. So you can get books, you can buy journals that will actually guide you through it, okay? To get started on that creative edge. So you'll want to start that creative edge as soon as possible, right? And so that's why I find it's important if you're going to start journaling or you're going to start drawing or different things, you know, bring your kids involved in them too. You know, get your kids involved. My daughter and I used to do a lot of things together like that. We used to do a lot of art projects together. Find crafty things to do. She never wanted to learn to knit or crochet, and she didn't turn out to be a drawer, but by getting her to look into herself and try different things to figure out what she wanted, and if she would have maybe been more proactive in what she wanted to do as an adult, she would have been a great writer. I think that if she would have been productive and put her life in a place different than where she put herself, she made some bad choices. I'm not sure if she's still making those bad choices. I hear things from time to time. It's not that I don't love my daughter, because I will love her till the ends of the earth, okay? Don't ever get me wrong. My children, whether we speak or not, are the most important things to me in life, okay? And with my children and my daughter come my grandchildren, okay? I'm not very close with my two oldest grandchildren. I've seen them, they know who I am. It's not like they don't know who I am. But I don't have the relationship with them that I do with their sister and their brother, okay? So their sister and brother are not living with their mother at all. My granddaughter, the oldest granddaughter, is living with her mom and going to school. Miss Eliza is doing very well. And she's in advanced classes. And my grandson is back living with his dad and going to school and is very happy as well. Or he's not back in school yet. He starts like the same amount of times, around the same time that Washington will be starting, I'm sure. They usually is around the end of August, so he may have already just started. So it's busy trying to keep the kids busy and get them all together, and I know how busy that kind of stuff gets. But anyways, let's go on to the next one. So photography is number 4. If you think being a photographer requires having an expensive camera and a bunch of equipment, think again. Anyone with a smartphone can become a hobby photographer. Believe it or not, many of today's cell phones, even the ones that aren't top-of-the-line models, are capable of capturing images that rival those taken using cameras that cost thousands of dollars. Share your shots on Instagram, and you'll be able to connect with other people who enjoy photography. I mean, it's just like me. I didn't have to buy a camera or have a camera to do my videos, right? I'm using my phone. I can do it all on my phone, except for a few things once they're uploaded into up into YouTube, and then I just go into the creator, and it takes me 3 minutes to process the rest. Of course, you can take photos using a regular old film camera or a Polaroid too. It's all about finding the medium you enjoy most. No matter what type of camera you use, being a photographer gives you a unique opportunity to show people what the world looks like through your eyes. Now, the next two are loves of my life. Now, when I was younger, I loved to take pictures. I was the picture picture queen. I took the camera. I loved the camera. But I basically loved anything nature related. We did a lot of stuff outdoors. My family was a very big camping, motorhome enthusiast kind of family. We did a lot of boating, fishing, all of that fun summer stuff that you do. And even in the winter, my dad and I would go fishing. We'd go out to the slough and wear our jackets and, you know, go fishing, have a little fun, hang out together. My dad was my best friend, and I miss him more than life itself. But, you know, I've since grown closer to my mother, and that's been a wonderful relationship as well. I know that I got my mom's story worth for Mother's Day this year, and I've been learning a lot about my family and my mom's growing up that I didn't know a whole lot of. I'd heard stories, and you know, you hear stories and this and that, and you remember what you hear, but to actually see your mom write down her history and what her life was. What was your first car like? What was your first date like? What was your first marriage like? What made you change your mind? You know, I got to learn some stuff about my father that I wasn't aware of beforehand. Stuff that I had thought was true, but never was able to get a definitive answer. And now I'm very definitive on it, and my feelings towards my father is that he's the sperm donor, and he was my father, and he was forced to pay child support, or that would have never happened. He came and saw me once after my parents got divorced. My sister and I weren't a priority in his life. He had a new life, and he ended up having a new wife, and he had my brother, and he was so selfish, he didn't even let us get to know each other. So that's my father in a nutshell. But let's get back on to our articles. So number 5 is knitting. Yeah, we need to get going. We're at our 32-minute mark. So number 5, knitting. Knitting is an enjoyable hobby for anyone who enjoys making things with their hands. It's easier than you might think too. With a set of needles, some yarn, and a simple pattern, anyone can learn the art of knitting. Whether you stick with simple projects like scarves or decide to try your hand at knitting a sweater, this hobby is both relaxing and rewarding. I'm going to say that maybe if I started knitting, I would feel different about it. I started crocheting, and I had a really difficult time learning to knit. I've been trying to teach myself for many years. I couldn't get the coordination to do it, I guess, trying to understand it. But then I found Marley Bird on YouTube, and she had sat down with her mom to teach her mom how to knit, and she did it on video, and that's how I learned to knit. Then I got really into knitting. I've made several shawls. I've made several pairs of socks. I've made several sweaters. I still have 2 on the needles that we got to work on. One I know I'm keeping, the other I might or might not. I need to relook at the pattern and see if it's something that really I want now that I'm not working outside the house. And so we'll look into those kind of things. So knitting is a great pastime. If you have the patience to let your hands build up the memory they need to do knitting. Now remember, knitting and crocheting are different, and the handwork, what your hands do are totally different, okay? So you need to build muscle memory for knitting, muscle memory in your hands for crocheting. So that's one thing, is It will take you 2 or 3 weeks to get that muscle memory. You have to do it every day over and over. No matter what frustrates you, no matter how much you want to just throw it in the garbage, right? Don't. Just give it time. Once your hands get that muscle memory, it's gonna feel like it's second nature, okay? I've not had a single issue knitting since I started. Now, I find it kind of annoying when you realize that 2 rows down, you made a mistake on something and you have to pull it all out. Frogging and knitting is a little different than frogging and crochet, right? But let's not get into the details of knitting and crocheting, or I could be here all day talking about them. But if it is something you're interested in, please don't hesitate to try. Just give yourself a chance. Crocheting is similar. So knitting, not quite your style, give crocheting a shot. While knitting involves the use of 2 or sometimes more needles, only 1 hook is used in crochet. For some people, this is easier than working with multiple needles. I don't think that it's really that it's easier than working with multiple needles. I really, honestly, it's just as easy to knit as it is to crochet. I'm going to say that right from the beginning. It is just as easy to do both. Here's the thing, though. If you want to learn, you need to give your hands a chance to get that muscle memory. As long as you let them do that, the sky's the limit with these kind of crafts, okay? So like knitting, crocheting is relaxing and allows you to create garments and accessories using yarn. Making crochet plus figures known as amigurumi, I can never say that word. It's making little stuffed animals. Is a lot of fun too, and they are. I've done them for my grandkids, and I had so much fun doing them. Okay, so watercolor painting. Painting is intriguing to me, and I do like it, and I can do it, but it's not my favorite. I'm really not much into the painting as much as I am into the drawing. And I have to admit, I've not been drawing like I should. No, we're not bringing drawing in as a regular thing right now because I'm completely out of my own sorts with it. But watercolor painting is next. Any type of painting is an excellent means of expressing creativity and beating boredom. There's something simply magical about working with watercolors, though. The fluid nature of this type of paint makes it easy to work with. It also makes it perfect for creating truly one-of-a-kind pieces of art to display, give as gifts, or even sell. And yes, I admit, watercolor is gorgeous. If I had the patience to sit down and really study it and learn it, I probably would love to do it. One of the greatest things about watercolor paint is its versatility for realistic paintings, abstract pieces, and everything in between. Watching the colors blend and spreading them across the canvas is relaxing too. If you enjoy art but never worked with watercolors, it's definitely worth trying. We might try something like that. I might have to try watercolors, okay? I have some watercolor pencils, actually. So jewelry making. Making jewelry is another of those hobbies that's less difficult than many people think it is. Sure, you can spend hours learning to solder and create perfect pieces, but you can also pick up beads, chains, findings, and a few basic tools from your local craft store and create equally beautiful pieces. I create a lot of my own stitch markers, so I have all of that, and it's really not expensive, especially if you look for deals on Amazon. You can get really good deals on some nice pieces of jewelry, right? And you get nice beads on Amazon, right? So if you look for deals, and that just because it says go to a craft store doesn't mean you have to go to a craft store, right? To get something. Sure, if it's there and available, fine. I'll go to a craft store. If I can't get it somewhere else. Okay, that could be because of my disability now, or I'm not sure. But anyways, this craft is excellent for people of all ages too. Even young children enjoy using plastic beads to create pieces to wear and show their friends. That's right, my granddaughter loves making keychains and giving them to her friends. She diamond paints them and she gives them to their friends. And she is pretty darn handy with a diamond painting pen. When I see her next, I will be giving her unicorn diamond painting pen, and I may just kind of come up with a little something for JJ and throw that in and send it up to them. It's not too expensive for me to send a little package of fun things to do. So that's probably what will happen next, is we will come up with some fun projects now that they're back, and I will send some stuff for them in the mail and they'll receive it and we can go from there. I'm really hoping that my granddaughter is doing good with her potty training. It's not potty training, but she has issues of wetting the bed at night, so I'm hoping that things are going better with her on that. I have to check in on her on that. So number 9, cross stitch. I don't want to make her feel bad though. I want to give her something to work towards. So I told her she really, really wants to learn to crochet, and I told her that Mimo will teach her to crochet once she masters this issue. And she's super excited because I told her I'd send her a whole set of needles, hooks, and I will send her some yarn. So I will send her everything that she needs to crochet. So number 9 is cross stitch. Okay, so we do cross stitch. We have an ongoing cross stitch pattern going. So cross stitching is a type of embroidery that is easy to learn and almost impossible to put down. It is easier for new fiber artists than free-form embroidery, and getting started doesn't require a large financial investment. All you need is embroidery floss and fabric, an embroidery hook, and a tapestry needle. You can purchase blank fabric and follow a pattern, or to make things easier, you can buy a fabric pre-printed with a design. Then you just need to stitch over each X on the fabric using the specified color. Okay, so if you want a pre-stamped cross stitch, those are awesome to do, right? Have you ever done a pre-stamped? That's how I started. And then I found a counted cross stitch, and it can be a real pain in the backside, counted cross stitch. But once you get it down and you figure it out, just make sure you count and double count your numbers when you're getting ready to put in a pattern. Okay, it's really once you get a starting point in a pattern, you can really just grow off that starting point, right, and just expand. And you take it from one point and you can expand it, and that's how you make a bigger picture. And so that's what we're working on. So it doesn't take a whole lot. You can buy the pre-printed, or you can buy the plain fabric. Floss is 89 cents at Michael's. You can buy it online, have it delivered, whatever. Hobbies, I would go with DMC though. I'm sorry, I don't like any of the other kinds of floss. DMC is my floss. Hobbies, like cross stitch, are easy to pick up. You can always expand your skills and learn to take your projects to the next level. And if you think cross stitch is just is for little old ladies, think again. It has been a huge resurgence in recent years, and there are plenty of cute and funny patterns that appeal to younger people. Okay, number 10 is gardening. So, do you ever do any gardening? Like I said, I'm not very good at it anymore, at least here in Florida. could go to California and be successful, but that's because I grew up in California. And I learned all the things about the ground and what I needed to do to plant my various things, because I have a brown thumb, so I have to make sure I'm doing it right or they'll die. So I follow directions very closely when it comes to any gardening. But whether you plant an indoor garden during nice weather or you stick to indoor gardening, tending a garden is relaxable and enjoyable. My sister loves to do it. It can be very rewarding too. Gardening is a hobby anyone can get into. You don't need a huge yard, a greenhouse, etc. Even if you only have a sunny window and a few pots, you can create a simple indoor herb garden and grow other types of plants. Planting a garden or watching your plants grow is very satisfying. And if you have an herb or vegetable garden, there's something amazing about cooking using ingredients you grew yourself. And that is 100% absolutely positively right. I would be lost if I didn't have fresh vegetables. I go down, we have in Florida a lot of vegetable shops on the side of the road. And there's one just down the street from us, a couple blocks down. And I go there to get all of my vegetables. Fresh vegetables are fantastic. I'm going to be going by and getting some fresh tomatoes today. She always has like packets of like vegetables that are close but not quite. And I could get a package of tomatoes like that because I'm going to be making goulash with it. So it is fine. It doesn't have to be the finest tomatoes. I just need something that's going to break down nicely in my goulash, right? So I'm going to buy some fresh tomatoes to put in it, and I'll make a beautiful goulash, okay? So next one I see is digital art, number 11. For those who enjoy art but don't particularly enjoy drawing or painting, digital art is a great alternative. As a digital artist, you can experiment with several different styles with the right software and tools. It is possible to create beautiful digital art even if you struggle with other types of art. If you would like to try your hand at digital art, considering purchasing a drawing tablet that can be connected to your computer. This is much cheaper than buying a high-end tablet or a two-in-one computer, and allows you to create digital artwork using a pen that feels natural in your hand instead of trying to draw or paint with the mouse. Wacom tablets are great for digital artists of all skill levels and are available at several price points. I do a lot of designing in my Silhouette studio, so I do a lot of art in my Silhouette. I've designed, I don't know how many shirts I've designed, lots and lots. I have holiday shirts, and I pull them out during the various holidays, you know. I'm super excited about Halloween coming. I wish my heat press was more in a convenient position, but it's not right now, so no t-shirts are being made. But we will eventually make t-shirts. It's also hot right now, time of year, and so it is difficult to be over a heat press. Okay, they get hot, and it is very hot. Okay, so you have to be very cautious with it. I have to run fans in my office because it gets very hot in there when I do, but it's all worth it because in the end, I love weeding vinyl, okay? I will do the most intricate designs with vinyl, okay? I have a pumpkin that I want to cut out, and I didn't cut it out I did try to cut it out of paper and it didn't work, but I want to do a pumpkin and get it on something that I can put and display it. So even if I put it on a piece of nice pretty cardstock as a background, so you see the cardstock through the pumpkin, which is kind of what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. I think I might get that cut started sometime today, and maybe we'll look at it and see. I can show you a few tips and tricks about vinyl. We'll do an extra. I'll do on one of my WIP and chat days. How about I set up and we do some vinyl weeding while we do our WIP and chat. So we'll WIP and chat vinyl weeding this time. It will be a long, tedious process because this is a very tedious design, but when it's done and weeded and put on either a t-shirt, if I decide I want to pull the heat press out, or if I'm going to put it on paper, I'm going to figure it out because I really want to cut something on the silhouette today. I'm in that mood. So I'm going to go cut something, and I'll probably use that as my afternoon, evening project of weeding my pumpkin. Because I can take that outside even and weed outside. I don't have to be inside to weed anything. And weeding just means pulls out any of the parts of the vinyl that you don't need. So next is number 12, creative thinking. And that all goes to digital art, right? Because okay, I'm going to plug in real quick because we just got a low battery thing. I'm trying to move my... There we go. And let me plug us in real quick. I just got to grab the cord. It's here right by the... here. And then I will readjust us. Sorry about that. I just looked up and saw it because I check periodically. There we go. Okay, so number 12, creative writing. Everyone has a story to tell. Picking up creative writing as a hobby is one of the best ways to write yours. Whether you've always had a love for writing or you would just like to improve your skills, becoming a writer is as simple as, well, starting to write. You can begin by writing poems or short stories in your journal, or you can sit down in front of a computer and start typing up that novel you've always dreamed of writing. Who knows? You could be the next best-selling author. You just have to get started. Even if you prefer to keep your writing private and have no intention of having your work published, writing is a fulfilling way to express your creative side. Number 4, cooking or baking. I love doing this, okay? So being creative isn't just about arts and crafts. There are plenty of ways to get creative in the kitchen, too. Professional chefs and bakers are artists in their own way. They are. Do you ever watch any of these shows on Food Network and watch some of these cake and sugar artists? I so want to learn to sugar. The one part of baking that I want to learn to do is sugar art, okay? It's as close to glass blowing as you can get. And so I think that's my fascination, because I've always wanted to learn to do glass blowing, and I never did. So, professional chefs and bakers are artists in their own way. There's something downright amazing about combining a few ingredients, adding heat, and creating taste buds tantalizing foods and treats. Absolutely, 100%, I'm in agreement. Cooking and baking are great holidays. They teach you valuable life skills too. When you learn how to cook, you'll find yourself making delicious food at home instead of ordering takeout. Plus, when you're good at cooking or baking, you'll always have a way of doing something special for someone you care about. Everyone loves being treated to a delicious home-cooked meal or yummy dessert. My husband even likes it when we just say, "Hey, why don't we pull this out and I'll cook this for dinner." You know, we have pretty much a lot of the same basic foods that we eat every day. We don't eat a whole lot of I can't say sugar because I do have a couple pieces of candy a day. They're only like 5 calories a piece. They give me that sweet tooth. I have sugar-free cookies that have just chocolate in them, which are my calories that I count. And so I have certain things that I bake to keep in the house so that I don't blow my diet, right? And if I cook good foods and we don't go out all the time, then even better, right? So that's what we're going to do next, right? So cooking and baking. As you let go of things holding you back, your desires and your true self are free to come to the forefront of your mind. With practice, meditation can help you create a life. Oh, wait. I just went from one to one pair. Okay, cooking and baking are great hobbies. They teach you valuable life skills too. When you learn how to cook, you'll find yourself making delicious food at home instead of ordering takeout. Plus, when you're good at cooking and baking, you will always have a way of doing something special for someone you care about. Everyone loves being treated to a delicious home-cooked meal or yummy dessert. And yes, I know after I read it that we already read that. But we'll go on to number 14, which is meditation. Meditation may not seem like a creative hobby at first glance, but hear us out. Meditation allows you to clear your mind and let go of stress and anxiety. It can help you release self-limiting beliefs too and teach you more about who you truly are and what you want. As you let go of the things holding you back, your desires and true self are free to come to the forefront of your mind. With practice, meditation can help you create the life of your dreams instead of just accepting what life throws at you. Learning how to meditate isn't hard, but it takes some practice. For many people, clearing the mind is very challenging. Thankfully, there are some amazing resources out there for people who want to learn to meditate and experience its many benefits. Okay? So, I find that it helps me, right? And so what's going to help me might help somebody else, right? So if I share what helps me with my daily life of living with bipolar and living with fibromyalgia, both of those are challenging things to deal with on a day-to-day basis, right? And then you have, well, now you're disabled, now you can't be out in the workforce because every time you go in the workforce, it makes you sick. And my husband and I were talking, and come to find out, I was doing pretty well until I took that last job at Oasis. And they kept the office so cold, they didn't want to send off a note to an email to the main office who managed and maintained the air conditioner to say, hey, we need to have it set this. They just let it stay, at like 63 degrees. I don't know, it was freezing in there. And it really did a number on me being in that cold 50 hours a week, 5 days. So 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? And I'm doing that every day. And every day I come home in pain because it's been so cold in the office. They let us have heaters, but the problem with the heaters, if somebody was using a heater and you used one and somebody else had one on, it would throw a breaker. So we had to be very careful with the heaters even. So we were talking last night, and we really believe that me being in that environment and working in that cold is what really caused me to get as bad as I am now. I'm very sick now. I daily have issues. I don't feel well a lot of times. And so I think that that last job did me more damage than it did good. And so with that said, that's why I don't work. But this next one is a great one. So number 15 is start an online side gig. So this is basically what I decided to do. I decided that I would get an online side gig, and I would take my crafts and my art and make a YouTube channel. And that's exactly what I've done. And I record videos on a daily basis, or I try. I try to stay ahead. I'm got to get a couple videos ahead. I am behind. I am today playing Let's Get This uploaded and done so that we can get it on there before the day ends, and then we don't have a video up, right? Because as you see, yesterday's was ready to go up and I forgot to go in and release it, so it didn't release until yesterday evening. And I thought I'd released it, and that's the part I don't understand. Or maybe, and that's where my brain comes in sometimes, is I think I do things and I don't. So I have to go back and do them over, or I have to fix them, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, right? But I enjoy doing this, right? So I do the videos. I take a day off here and there, and I really enjoy, and I'm having fun building this channel. And whether we stay with 12 for the rest of my channel's life, or we eventually grow, it's really one of those things. I just want to share my art with people, like-minded people like me, that also enjoy doing various art or craft projects. That's why I'm here, you know? And I'm not here to get free diamond paintings. I'm not here for people to send me free stuff, right? I could. I just got an email not too long ago inviting me as a new online YouTuber to join, and we'll give you free gifts, and all you have to do is tell the truth about those gifts on your channel. And I thought about it and told my husband, and we talked about it, and I said, the more I think about it, it's not what I'm going for. Some of these things are really making me dig deep inside and really make me think of what I want this channel to be, okay? If I had this channel and this channel made me happy, and I could have everything I wanted to watch on a YouTube channel, it would be somebody who wants to share their art, wants to share something new and educational, I'm not here for educational per se, but I do like to read the blogs, and I think blogs are different because nobody else is doing that. There's lots of true crime going on out there, right? But there's not a whole lot of people really trying to get out there, introducing some of these bloggers and these people that are working out there hard to get their stuff out there too. So I'm trying to support them, right? And the first one I got started on was Diamond Art Club, because I knew Diamond Art Club had one, and we were just diamond painting on the channel at that point. But now I'm bringing in crochet blogs. I'm bringing in knitting blogs. I'll be bringing in various things so that we can all learn something new as we go, right? Because I love to learn new things. I'm always out to see where I can get more education, how things get better, what is in my life that would make me happier. Is there something different? So I'm always trying to better myself or learn or educate myself. If I start a craft, I won't get done exploring that craft till I've read everything I can get my hands on, right? So I don't know if there's other people out there that just want to learn about crafts as they go and they want to get better. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do to get better at diamond painting. I mean, if you can learn to multi-place and you can put diamonds on here, it's pretty simple, right? There's not a whole lot in diamond painting that you have to do to expand, right? There's not 500 stitches, right? I have a book sitting right next to me, and it's called 750 Knitting Stitches, okay? So there's 750 types of knitting stitches. And that's not all of them, okay? That's just what's in that book, right? So if we look at that's got 750 knitting stitches. If we went through that book and spent time, we could spend 750. That's almost 2 years. If we spend and look at a different one and work a different one every day, right? That's something that will keep you busy for 2 years as a project, right? If you want to do that. Now, it's not something that I've thought about doing, which is kind of crazy because as soon as I said it, I'm like, where'd that come from, right? Because I'm not the type of person that wants to start at the beginning of the book and read through and do 750 stitches, because not all those stitches do I like, right? Not all of them make me happy. When I'm knitting and I'm doing stitching, I want something that's going to make me happy, right? Something I enjoy doing, right? So I don't get bored. So I share what I do, and I hope that everybody that is part of our channel wants to be part of that kind of craft kind of education kind of thing. Let's see how we can expand our crafts. What can we take and do differently that we're already doing? I mean, when it comes to knitting and crocheting, we could go days and days and days on knitting and crocheting, right? You can't really go days and days and days on diamond painting, right? Because diamond painting is diamond painting. You can learn about how they make them, but there's nothing to learn really once you get started. So it's doing repetitious. And if you like repetitious things, you'll like diamond painting, right? And some people enjoy just doing the little things in life, right? And I enjoy that. So let's go ahead and finish up our article so that we can get this video ended and I can get it uploaded today. And tomorrow's already done. So I will be doing Saturdays tomorrow, so I will start getting a little bit ahead of myself. I did have to make 2 videos yesterday because I accidentally thought Wednesday was knitting and crocheting when that's a Friday. And so I had to finish that one and went ahead and did Wednesday's video and got that uploaded for you yesterday. Today is Thursday, and I will be uploading this as soon as we're done. So let's go ahead and finish up this article. I only have a couple more in this section, and I don't want to forget what I'm doing, so let me just get these in here and finish this little section. There's lots of 3s to go, so I would just probably pick somewhere else to work. So number 15, start an online side gig. The world is changing and more people are turning to the web to earn extra cash. If you're looking for a productive hobby, starting an online business may be a great option. If you paint, draw, make jewelry, knit, crochet, or do any other type of art or craft, you can sell your creations on the internet. Sites like Etsy make it easy to sell handmade creations to people in our country and around the world. You can also turn your creativity into cold, hard cash by becoming a freelance writer, providing web and graphic design services, or even teaching people how to draw, paint, or do any other type of arts and crafts. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing in a nutshell, right? I'm not going for the cash. You know, if we get to 1,000 and we get this and we get that and we can monetize, we'll discuss that when that happens. I have some thinking to do on that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It would be nice to have a little bit of money coming in for the channel, and that would be used to buy supplies and various crafts that we'll be working on. But we'll talk about that in the future. That's not right now. So the bottom line, whether you're a skilled artist or you're yearning to express your artsy crafty side for the first time, there are plenty of creative hobbies to try. Feel free to experiment with several different hobbies before finding one or a few to stick to. Find what you enjoy most and then work to further develop your skills. It can take some time to find the right hobby and get fully into it, but once you do, you'll find yourself gravitating towards it more and more. Whether you embrace diamond painting, dig into gardening, or fall in love with fabric art, finding a new hobby is fun and rewarding way to pass the time. So, with that said, I really enjoyed that article. I hope you did too. We are over an hour, so let's get this finished. If you like this video, a thumbs up is great. If you don't, a thumbs down is fine. If you don't like it, please give us an answer why you gave us thumbs downs below. If you want to be part of the Sunset Girl Creates family, we'd love to have you part of the family. All you have to do is subscribe down below, and if you want to know every time we upload a video, you do have the bell icon that sits right next to the subscribe button, and that will allow you to know every time I upload a video. So with that said, I want to thank you all for coming, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.